Hey everyone and welcome to a Let's Max Warframe. Today we're going to be celebrating the fact that Plains of Eidolon are here, and with it came a whole bunch of brand spanking new weapons. We're going to be taking a look at the newest of the rifles, the Grineer dual mode battle rifle, the Argonak. Now the Argonak's a rifle that does require you to complete the research in the Grineer Chem Lab in the dojo. It wasn't that expensive to start though, which is definitely nice, but once it's researched to build it you are going to need to be Mastery rank 7. So, how does it look stats-wise? Base damage 28.6, most of that split pretty equally between slash and impact, just a dash of puncture thrown in. It's actually pretty decent, especially with powerhouse weapons like the Soma Prime, the Tenora coming in with less base damage. Then you've got a decision to make really. The Argonak's got a dual fire mode situation going on, similar to that of the Stradivar. The primary fire is very crit focused, 27% crit chance, 230% damage multiplier, and a lower status of just 19%. The mode is a single fire mode, much like a battle rifle, and it allows you to fire as fast basically as you can tap, or as fast as the weapon's going to allow you to, provided you put a little bit of fire rate on there. Either that or you have the secondary mode, which actually puts the weapon fully automatic, drops the crit down from the 27% down to 9%, and it drops the damage multiplier to 150%, but actually increases its status chance up to 27%. This split really does try and force you to try and mod for either one side or the other again. Really, it's like a lot like the other dual fire rifle, the Stradivar. It's got a couple of downsides. Firstly, the fire rate of 4 on the single fire and just 6 on the automatic is very, very slow, and really is going to need some fire rate to be able to boost that up enough to where it's going to buff that damage output. Problem is that upping the fire rate drops you into another potential problem, which is the fact that at 2.4 seconds, the reload does feel, it feels fairly long. It's definitely not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not the quickest. When it comes to reloading after emptying the mag, it can feel fairly long. It does have one pretty cool feature though, which is that the scope on the weapon has a laser designator, and that's on the top of the rifle. It doesn't serve any real purpose in terms of actual mechanics, but it does mark enemies very brightly depending on your energy colour, and it makes them easier to distinguish either at longer range or when you're in a crowd, and you can really see each individual enemy, and it really allows you to put the shots into their heads. It's a very cool, and honestly it's a fairly useful feature. It is purely cosmetic, but I like it quite a bit. In terms of my build, I've got 2 of them. The former I put on the weapon allowed me to do either build with no messing around with mods in wrong polarities, or anything like that. It does require 3 former though, all of which are Vs. First build, hybrid crit and status, designed for the single fire, but able to be switched into the secondary at ease. Serration, split chamber, prime shreds in there, point strike, vital sense for crit chance and damage, bladed round for more crit damage on a kill, and then 2 dual stat elemental mods. This means that you get the crits from the single fire, but also the status procs. 62% status is more than good enough for a status build to work, and that's because you can fire it pretty quickly. And because you can do that, you can proc the status often enough to make it work. This is my favourite build of the weapon, but that's not to say that the second build is bad. If you don't like that single fire, which you could very easily not, you could always put it into automatic and just fire it constantly. While the first build works well even in automatic, you could mod it specifically for that automatic fire. Second build, Serration Split Chamber, Prime Shred. I've got a Prime Bane mod in there for the faction you're going to be fighting, and then Vile Acceleration for that extra fire rate. And then 3 dual stat mods, obviously your elementals. I found this build extremely effective and definitely sortie worthy. Honestly, I don't think it's a big deal to change the faction mod depending on who you're fighting, especially if you're bringing it into your sorties. If you don't want to do that, you could always put another dual stat in there, or even heavy caliber if you want, but one of its best features of the Argonak is its accuracy, which is fantastic. So nuking it with heavy cal is not something I'd recommend, but it is an option if you want to. So what do I think of the Argonak? Do I think it's worth taking, modding and formering up? And you know what, I actually really do. It's not the best rifle in the game, so those of you that want the best, look away now, but it is solid enough to deal with sortie level enemies in a decent enough amount of time. And since that's realistically the top end content in Warframe right now, barring the Eidolon fight, if a weapon is good enough to deal with that, that's absolutely the main thing. The Argonak was incredible fun to play with and to level. I spent the entire stream while leveling talking about just how much I like it. A weapon for me not only has to have the performance, which as you can see in the background now, dealing with level 100 corrupt heavy gunners, not only does it have that performance, it looks incredible. It also looks so Grenier, it's insane. But then, like, combine that with the noise. Oh my word, that firing noise is amazing. Seriously, they pulled out all the stops of this one. I really like playing with the Argonak. That combination of battle rifle and automatic rifle, the highlighting in the enemies when you aim at them, was a lot of fun to me to use. I'd say if you like your rifles, give it a go. I know for one, I do not regret putting the former into it. So I hope you enjoyed my look at the Argonak rifle. I'll have a special boss battle video coming out soon on how to take down the Eidolon, so look out for that. But for now, many thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.